Marvel's Midnight Suns game is all set to release, and the Firaxis Games has been teasing us with a lot of trailers and previews for it. Since it was first introduced at GameCon 2021, it already featured a huge cast of characters that have only grown ever since. Here's what we know so far about every hero and villain expected to show up in the game. First up, the Summer Game Fest trailer. Firaxis debuted a new teaser for Midnight Suns at Summer Game Fest 2022. Okay, so maybe the trailer doesn't offer much about the plot or gameplay, but it definitely features plenty of combat action. Even better, the clip revealed Lilith, the game's primary villain, corrupting Venom and transforming him into a half-demon, half-symbiote monster. However, it looks like he isn't the only one suffering from this ailment. The clip shows that, despite the game's larger-than-expected roster of controllable heroes, Lilith's able to make her own troops and force almost anybody to fight for her. Next, who are the Midnight Suns? Any longtime comics fan is familiar with the Midnight Suns, but in case you didn't know, they're an interesting group of superheroes who first featured in the second volume of Ghost Rider in 1992. They went on to star in a few major events, the most notable of which being The Rise of the Midnight Suns. They'd also feature in crossover titles involving members of the group and allied characters on occasion. Sadly, the original Midnight Suns were effectively disbanded in the mid-1990s, although a new version of the organization subsequently featured in Marvel's Zombies series. After learning that Lilith had been revived and planned to utilize her great demonic talents to, you guessed it, take over the Earth, Ghost Riders Danny Ketch and Johnny Blaze founded the Midnight Suns. The narrative gained a cult following over the years, thanks primarily to its unusual cast of heroes, as well as its otherworldly aesthetic and dark undertones. Actually, the mystical components of Midnight Suns may be the group's distinguishing story feature. The entire Midnight Suns theme appears to be Marvel's most focused attempt at stressing the supernatural parts of their reality. While the crew and their adventures didn't survive long, it's difficult to deny that the notion of focusing on the Marvel multiverse's frequently neglected supernatural aspect is intriguing. According to Midnight Suns creative director Jake Solomon, Marvel approached developer Firaxis with the hazy concept of collaborating, and Solomon picked the Midnight Suns group's storyline owing to his liking for that series, as well as his wish to focus on some of Marvel's supernatural characters. So far, it appears that Marvel has granted Firaxis authority to effectively construct their own universe. So, let's discuss the heroes so far. The Marvel universe is built on heroes, and although many of them are solo acts, others are frequently part of a team. We don't know about you, but we love both. Marvel's Midnight Suns pull from both pools to create a new type of hero team, the titled Midnight Suns. The improvised team includes heroes with expertise battling the supernatural, such as Blade and Doctor Strange. It's also got a few that are, uncomfortable confronting demons, such as Iron Man and Captain America. The Hunter, a new character created for the game that players may personalize, leads the squad. Here's every verified hero we've seen in the game thus far. Expect to see the Hunter, Wolverine, Blade, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange, among others. You'd also be surprised to learn that Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Nico Minoru, and the Caretaker will also be making an appearance in the new game. And now for the villains of Midnight Sun. Now we get to the more interesting bit. Who are the villains we should expect to see in Midnight Suns? We know Lilith's one of them, but who else? Lilith, the mother of demons, is the main enemy in Marvel's Midnight Suns. She can give birth to strong demons and corrupt mortals into half-demon monstrosities, as her name suggests. Lilith's a force to be reckoned with, having the capacity to summon an army in an instant. Of course, Hydra decided to wake her up because, well, why not? Well, Hydra isn't exactly on Lilith's side. The Wicked organization and all its associated villains aren't exactly on the Midnight Suns side either. However, here's who players should anticipate facing in the game. Lilith, Crossbones, Hydra Bomb, and the forces of Hydra will all be packing a punch for players in the game. Interestingly, there are definitely some people in the Midnight Suns teaser whose allegiances seem dubious. The trailer shows Lilith corrupting Venom and transforming him into a half-demon creature known as Fallen Venom. It closes with some other Fallen posing for the camera, one of whom is the Scarlet Witch. Nonetheless, the game's website was just updated with a blog post including photographs of Scarlet Witch battling alongside Iron Man and Doctor Strange in Midnight Suns attire. So what's the deal? These contradictory facts call into doubt her loyalty, as well as the allegiances of all of the other Fallen from the trailer. Next, we have some questionable loyalties. Will players have to battle Scarlet Witch once she becomes Fallen in order to recruit her? Or is she one of several characters in a branching storyline that players may either control or recruit. Will the same thing happen to the other Fallen, including Venom? All we know for certain is that the following characters in Marvel's Midnight Suns have volatile loyalties: Scarlet Witch, Sabretooth, Venom, and the Hulk. While the majority of Marvel heroes and villains originate in comic books, several have achieved renewed prominence when they're converted into a different media that requires a voice actor. For example, many people now link Yuri Lowenthal with Spider-Man, since his voice fits the character so well. Marvel's Midnight Suns will maintain that legacy by providing a solid cast of voice actors for its all-star ensemble of heroes and villains. Next, in other news, we have the Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes release time. While Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes isn't the anticipated sequel to 3 Houses, it does promise to be one of the most exciting Nintendo Switch titles of 2022. 3 Hopes will be available to players across the world on June 24th. While Nintendo hasn't confirmed the precise release date, the company is a creature of habit when it comes to digital releases. Come on, they've always released games at 9 p.m. before the release day. Those who want to buy the game in person, though, will have to wait until the stores open on June 24th, purchase it, and hope it comes that day, or go to a store hosting a release party. We don't know about you, but we definitely don't have that kind of patience for a show we've been waiting for this long. A while ago, Nintendo also dropped the demo for the game to keep us busy while we waited for this one. Well, the wait is finally over, and the best part is that if you played the demo, you can pick up right where you left off in the full version too. And now for why Sekiro 2 should be From Software's next game. Elden Ring, the studio's most recent release, is undoubtedly their finest game ever, as well as one of the biggest open world games ever developed. It's reasonable to believe that everyone who invested hundreds of hours with that work of art would welcome a sequel. But trust us when we say that From Software would be better suited to making a sequel to 2009's Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Why? Because Sekiro was the least Soulsborne-like entry into the larger Soulsborne family. It was also one of From Software's greatest games. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is an outlier when compared to From Software's post-Souls Demon games. It's a stealth action game that forgoes several Soulsborne genre conventions, like collecting weapons, multiplayer, beginning classes, and even stats. Having said that, you're undoubtedly asking why From Software would produce a sequel to Sekiro instead of a sequel to a game as popular as Elden Ring. At the very least, you should be wondering what a Sekiro sequel might provide that another From Software game couldn't. All of this boils down to the precise ways Sekiro's Soulsborne deviations made it unique, as well as everything From Software didn't get to accomplish with the game's basic themes the first time around. Finally, we have The Quarry's Ted Raimi, the horror guy. Ted Raimi has been part of the horror genre for decades. He's seen it and done it all when it comes to horror, from his brother Sam Raimi's famed Evil Dead movie to classics like Candyman and The Grudge. When he agreed to join the cast of The Quarry, Supermassive Games' latest entry in their distinctive line of choose-your-own doom horror games, he definitely wasn't expecting what he got. He shared that with many other games, there would be a character design based on his appearance, but for The Quarry, my castmates and I were on set, interacting with each other in real time. All of the nuance in our performances shine through in the game and make it much more cinematic and frightening. That definitely sounds more than a little scary. Raimi's an excellent choice for the game for the same reason he's an excellent choice for so many fantastic horror pictures. He understands the genre inside and out, having spent his whole career nearly entirely in horror films. That's all for today's video. What do you think of the Midnight Suns cast? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next one.